It's hard to keep a secret when you're sandwiched between a human lie detector and a guy who can smell a panic attack from across the dorms. You try to bury your insecurities under a pile of junk food, but Bakugo and Kirishima are about to prove that being good enough has nothing to do with your reaction time. The afternoon sun streams through the common room windows as you sit curled up on the couch, a bag of chips balanced on your lap. Your phone rests beside you, screen dark, but you can't stop thinking about the contents of that last email. Your jaw works mechanically as you crunch through another handful of chips, barely tasting them. Babe, didn't you just eat lunch like an hour ago? Kirishima's voice breaks through your spiraling thoughts. You look up to find them, standing in the doorway, gym bag slung over his shoulders, red hair still damp from what must have been an intense training session. His expression is curious rather than judgmental, but you feel your cheeks warm anyway. Just snacking. You mumble, hoping he'll drop it. He doesn't. Instead, he crosses the room and drops onto the couch beside you, close enough that his thigh presses against yours. The familiar warmth of his presence would normally be comforting, but right now, it just makes you more aware of the growing pile of empty wrappers on the coffee table. That's your third bag, Kirishima observes, reaching over to brush some crumbs from your shirt. What's going on? Nothing's going on. Can't I just enjoy some chips? You hate that flavor, he points out, and damn him for being so observant. He's right. He had grabbed whatever was closest in the pantry, without really looking, before he can formulate a response. The door to the dorm slams open, with characteristic force. Why, shitty hair? You're ready to go over those combo moves or what? Bakugo's voice carried across the space before he even rounds the corner. When he does appear, his sharp red eyes immediately narrow as he takes in the scene. The hell are you doing? Having a snack? You say defensively, but your voice comes out smaller than intended. Bakugo stalks closer, and you watch his gaze sweep over the evidence of your stress eating. The empty bags, the half-eaten chocolate bar, the open container of cookies. His expression shifts from irritation to something more focused, more concerned. That's not snacking, idiot. That's demolishing the entire pantry. He crosses his arms, standing in front of you, like an explosive guardian. What happened? Why does something have to have happened? You hate how your voice wavers slightly. Because you eat like a damn bird normally, Bakugo states bluntly. And now, you're going through food, like you're trying to fill a black hole. So spill it out. Kirishima shoots Bakugo a look that clearly says, could you be more delicate about this? But there's agreement in his eyes. They both noticed your unusual behavior, and now you're cornered by two heroes in training who are as stubborn as they are protective. You sigh, setting the chip bag aside. It's nothing. Just got some news about my license exam results. And Kirishima prompts gently, his hand finding yours and giving it a squeeze. And I passed, but barely, like really barely. The feedback was, you swallow hard. They said my response times were adequate, but my decision-making under pressure needs significant improvement. That I hesitate too much, that I need to trust my instincts more. That's what this is about. Bakugo's voice comes out sharper than probably intended, and you flinch slightly. He notices, and his next words are much softer. You passed, didn't you? Barely. Passing is passing. Kirishima interjects, ever the optimist. And hey, at least now you know what to work on now, right? Well, I guess, but what if they're right? What if I'm not cut out for this? What if when it really matters, I freeze up and someone gets hurt because I can't make a decision fast enough? The words stumble out in a rush, all the fears you've been trying to bury under junk food suddenly spilling free. Bakugo groans, but he's moving, dropping down to set on your other side. Now you're squished between them, and despite everything, you feel some of the tension start to leave your shoulders. You really think they'd let you pass if they thought you were going to get someone killed? Katsuki's got a point, even if he's saying it in the most Katsuki way possible. Kirishima adds with a fond smile. The exam is designed to identify areas for growth, not to tear you down. Everyone gets feedback. Yeah, even Mr. Perfect over here got told he needed to work on his teamwork skills. Bakugo jerks his thumb at Kirishima. And someone, Kirishima pointedly looks at Bakugo, got feedback about managing his temper, not treating every situation like a declaration of war. Really? Yeah, I guess. Bakugo reaches over and plucks the chip back from your lap, tossing it onto the table with the others. Look, stress eating isn't going to make you a better hero. You know what will? Actually working on the shit they mentioned, instead of hiding in here and making yourself sick. I'm not. You are. I can see it in your eyes, babe. You're working yourself up into a panic, and that's not going to help anything. You slump back against the couch, feeling suddenly exhausted. I just want to be good enough. For the people who will need me. For you guys. You're already good enough for us, dummy. Bakugo says, and coming from him, the words hit differently. He's not one for empty reassurances. That's sweet in a really Bakugo way. You say, earning a scoff from him. Well, yeah, I guess. So, here's what's going to happen. Kirishima announces suddenly, sitting up straighter. First, we're going to have actual dinner. Real food, not junk. And then, we're going to help you come up with a training plan to work on that decision-making stuff. And tomorrow, we're running drills together. All three of us. Bakugo confirms. We'll throw scenarios at you until that hesitation disappears. You're going to learn to trust your gut if I have to blow up every training dummy in the facility. Thank you. You say softly. Both of you. Yeah. Bakugo waves it off, but his hand squeezes your knee gently. Just promise, no more secret stress eating. It's weird watching you demolish food like some kind of anxious chipmunk. Kirishima bursts out laughing, and you can't help but join in. The heavy weight that's been sitting on your chest finally starting to lift. Deal. You agree. No more chipmunk impressions. That's great. Now let's go make something actually edible. I'm thinking stir-fry. With extra spice. Bakugo demands, already standing and pulling you up with him. As you're tugged toward the kitchen, wedged between your two boyfriends who are already bickering about the proper spice level for dinner, you realize that maybe struggling isn't so scary when you have people who refuse to let you face it alone. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and goodbye!